Hey, good Thursday morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. In between the rain, although the drops are already starting to fall, I better set up for the MB Fast here this morning. The ocean looks pretty darn nice, doesn't it? But there's some wind starting to pick up, and the rain is starting to fall. Like I said, I better hurry. We've got some stuff from Costa Rica with our dear friend Paulina. That weird fish that washed up on the beach. How did you like that? That was incredible. Also, a great night last night with the South Bay Anglers Club. I had such a great time, and I dropped a video this morning around 6:20 a.m. You can check that out right now. And of course, we're going to cover what's going on with the Royal Polaris. They've arrived at the long range venues. I'm talking about Hurricane Bank, 1,000 miles south. Let's get into it. I'll set up, be right back with the MB. Two pilots were rescued after a fighter jet crashed into San Diego Bay in the area of 1401 Shelter Island Drive Wednesday morning, according to the San Diego Fire and Rescue Department. The vessel Premier, a sport fishing boat, was on scene and rescued the two pilots. They were only in the water for a short period of time. The U.S. Coast Guard said they were rescued by the Premier after only being in the water for a few minutes. The pilots were then transferred to U.S. Customs and Border Protection boat on scene before being taken to the hospital per the Coast Guard. Great news and fast-acting crew on the sport fishing boat Premier out of San Diego, California. Jordan Coronel was out for a morning's fishing in Carlsbad, California, when he came across this creepy, alien-looking, fanged creature. We think it's a Pacific footbait fish. They can live in depths up to 3,300 feet. They have bioluminescent headpieces to attract their prey. The first ever caught was caught incidentally in a deep-sea trawl net off Hawaii in 1975, and only about 30 of these things have washed ashore, so it's an extraordinary find by Jordan. In 2021 and 2023, a couple of these creatures washed ashore in Crystal Cove State Park in Orange County, California. Now, here recently, a group of shark researchers were off the Canary Islands when they filmed for the very first time a humpback anglerfish near the surface. It was the very first time we have ever seen that kind of phenomenon. Before we get started on today's morning briefing, don't forget, if you're headed to Ensenada, you're going to want to give Zeke Casas a call. Only 15 minutes from downtown, but just check out that spectacular view while in Ensenada, Baja, California Norte. And if that garage door is giving you a problem, then you're going to want to call your garage door man. That's Joe Welker. Tax problems? Nobody better than our friend Tim Marquez. Tim's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give the tax man a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to talk to our dear friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Hey, we better hurry up with this. It's great to be with you all. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Man, it's windy down here. It is kind of cool, and you can feel that the rain's really going to start falling. Tonight, we're going to get our heaviest rainfall, it sounds like, in this storm, and it is going to start to hoot. It's going to blow around 4 or 5 this afternoon. That's when it's forecast to really be nasty. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that for you very, very close. If you don't mind, hit that like button, share these videos everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. All right. The drops are not as hard as they were just a moment ago. So maybe we're going to make it through this. Let's go to Costa Rica, the home of my wife, Ruth. We celebrated Valentine's Day yesterday, and it was a really special time with her. I love the Ticos. They're great people. And our dear friend Paulina from Paulina Fishing Life is down there in Costa Rica right now, and she is having an extraordinary time catching a wide variety of different species, really having a lot of fun and enjoying Costa Rica. I know she was there last year. She really enjoys the Ticos and Ticolandia, as I like to call Costa Rica. Great place, wonderful people, and some fabulous fishing. And as you can see, it looks like Paulina is doing quite well indeed. Let's talk about the Royal Polaris, because the RP arrived yesterday down into the long-range venue. Remember, these guys now are fishing 16-day trips. They run 3 days before they start fishing. It's 1,000 miles, but man, I'm talking about great meals and really beautiful accommodations and some great fishing. Yesterday, it was pretty darn good. They had a 211-pound fish. That was their biggest yellowfin tuna for the day yesterday. You know, they started out hooking 4 fly line fish, and they were all big ones. A couple of those fish came unbuttoned. The hook pulled right there, really close to being gaffed. And they estimated those fish to be in the 250-pound class. Fly line, 250-pound yellowfin tuna. Is there anything better? They also had several fish in the 100 to 140-pound class, and they had some fish in the 150 to 180-pound class. So once again, they're big fish, 211 pounds. That's some darn good fishing on the Royal Polaris. They're going to be looking at some wahoo and some more yellowfin tuna. They're on that YFT here as we speak this morning, Thursday morning. So we'll see how they do. Not a bad start to their day. Their first fishing day, and the Independence now is rolling up on that zone. So they'll be fishing here very, very soon. Also, we'll be watching that for you very, very closely indeed. The Mexican mainland, let's start you out, or the Baja Peninsula is what I really should say. Down there in Cabo San Lucas, an occasional striped marlin, smaller roosters along the beach with an occasional yellowtail, and some amberjack in there also. So that has been pretty consistent, good fishing for yellowtail in Mulegé and Loreto. I like what's going on there. We've seen some excellent fishing for yellows there. And then 140 miles below the border, San Quintin, every once in a while, they'll get flashed with some really excellent yellowtail fishing on the yo-yo iron. A lot of rockfish. The rock fishing in San Quintin is magnificent. Really great. Big lings, reds, everything you could possibly want. In Ensenada, we've seen a few days where they catch some yellowtail. We've seen some pretty darn good fishing on the Big Bonito. But overall, they're fishing rockfish also. And you can throw in their sheephead. The viejas are biting pretty well down there. Big whitefish at times. And then the big reds and the big lings and all of that. Ensenada, only 70 miles below the border. Really, really good. Punta Colinet is 120 miles below the border. San Diego-based boats love to head down there on day-and-a-half trips. Not sure if anybody's going to be down there leaving Friday. This weather's kind of got everybody screwed up right now. So we'll see how that all plays out as we go along. Taking a look here in Southern California. The reason why so many people go to Mexico for rockfish during this time of the year is because, of course, rockfish is closed here in Southern California. It will open up on April the 1st. Now, sheephead are not allowed to be taken here either right now on the sport boats, but that will open up on March the 1st. So that leaves us with halibut fishing. It also leaves us with, a few bass here and there. Hadn't been that good on the bass, and the halibut fishing's even kind of been slower previous to this weather. We'll see if that's going to pick up, because I've got some weather information for you here in one more second, and it looks like it's going to be a really nice weekend, so that is really good. Sculpin, whitefish, you can get out and do pretty well on that. If you like fishing sand dabs, there's no limit on sand dabs. You fish them with multiple hooks, and people go out there and they just really cash in on some great fishing. You can catch as many as a couple of hundred sand dabs on a trip. It's been that good. The halibut fishing, last time on the Native Sun, they only had 2 halibut on their last trip. So hopefully on Saturday and Sunday, that's going to start to bite again with a little bit more ferocity. We've seen some really good days. I was saying that on average, you go on the Native Sun, you're going to catch from 6 to 12 halibut on any given trip, but that last one only 2. That means also why those fish are not biting full speed. That means you should get tougher by dropping your fluorocarbon down to, I would drop down to 20, 25, something like that, 4 ounce to 12 ounce torpedo sinkers, number 1 J hook and a number 6 treble hook, and you should be in really good shape for that. And as I mentioned, I see no wind here for Saturday and Sunday. It looks like it's going to be gorgeous, and a perfect time for you also to head to Catalina Island. Back there in the clouds and in the rain, you'll find Catalina Island. It's a great place to fish, and the El Patron will be headed there this coming weekend. Special low price, also no fuel surcharge, and limited load. The El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Make sure you get on the El Patron. So there are some fishing opportunities, but we're not going to see it for a while, and that includes the surf here in Southern California, because it's going to get downright dangerous starting this evening, and that is going to drift into Friday also when it gets windy and rough and you have big waves rolling up here, especially when you get down near a jetty or something like that. You do not want to be surf fishing on days like this. We have people who lose their lives every year, get washed off the rocks and jetties, and you know, small children fishing here can get hit by a wave and things happen quickly. It can be a disaster. In other words, wait for some beautiful weather, like February the 23rd, my brother's birthday, because we'll be right here. I don't know if the weather's going to be good, but we'll be watching it, and I anticipate another great day with all of you. Our last surf fishing day here in Surfside was absolutely fantastic. All of you showed up. You have my gratitude. Thanks for making that such a special day. That was really awesome. So hopefully we are going to see another great day. And you see all the details there. You're going to park down there on Anderson and Pacific Coast Highway where that tower is. Walk out on the beach, make a right-hand turn, and walk down 10 or 15 minutes. And again, if you have trouble with a bad back or something like that, just text me on that phone number, and we'll go arrange VIP parking for you. I will guarantee you that. Once again, how about Jordan Coronel? He's walking along the beach trying to catch some bar perch, and he finds that unusual, ghastly looking sea creature. That thing was cool, man. That angler fish, that is one heck of a find. And I got to tell you, I'm jealous, man. I'm always looking here in the beach for stuff rolling up, because you never know what you might find. In fact, many of you know that I was out here on this beach, I don't know how long ago it was, but I actually was here, unfortunately, to witness a body roll up on the beach, a dead body roll up on the beach. And I reported on it and sent my thoughts and prayers out. We had no idea who it was, and I was contacted by this lovely woman in United Arab Emirates who said, praise Allah, and thank you so much for bringing closure. Would you mind speaking to the deceased cousin? And of course I did that also. So you just never know what this enigmatic sea is going to bring you. Sometimes it's something really cool, and then other times it was, in that case, something very, very sad for everybody involved. Pat McDonald. Pat is up at Lake Pyramid, and I'm talking about Lake Pyramid in Nevada, and he says, man, I'm freezing my butt off here. Pat was also from Western Outdoor News for many, many years. He only got 2 days of fishing in because of the oncoming storm, but he had 5 nice cutthroat trout, and one of them weighed 14 pounds. Pat said the weather, the lows have been 25 degrees, and the high, a balmy 34 degrees, just barely above freezing. So pretty darn cool. Man, I can't believe I'm going to make it through this without getting doused, without getting rained on. That's the kiss of death, right? I'm going to get hit by a lightning bolt here now in any moment. Once again, my friends, it is always great to be with you here in the surf. I guess I should have told you that it's been mostly bar perch, but we have seen the occasional corvina. We caught a couple of halibut on our surf fishing day the other day. We've also seen some yellowfin croaker. It has not been wide open down around Bolsa Chica State Park. I know Wayne Shima Bakuro. Wayne's the man. He's such a great guy, and he's down there fishing, and they've been picking a few bar perch, but nothing wide open. Same thing down there around San Diego. There's been a little bit more yellowfin croaker up there around the Topaz Rock Jetty, but still cold water, mostly bar perch. That's all going to change. You know, March is right on the horizon. I can't believe how fast 25 is going by, but grunion runs will start again. And when the grunion run, man, that is just like one big chum bucket out there. and the predators follow, you'll start to see more halibut and more good stuff. And don't forget your surf fishing headquarters in Southern California. That's Big Fish, Bait and Tackle. Make sure you visit them, mention Freeman Adventures. They'll knock 10% off your bill, and especially that morning of February the 23rd. Check in with those guys, and they will take really good care of you. All right, my friends, what can I tell you? We made it. I've been waiting all morning long to come out here and do this. We finally got it in the books. It's always great to spend time with each and every one of you. Once again, that was so much fun last night at South Bay Anglers Club. Matt, thank you very, very much for treating me so nicely. I deeply appreciate it. It was so nice to have met so many of you. One more time again, shout out to the guys on the Premier who were involved in that rescue yesterday. Military jet went into San Diego Bay, and the pilots ejected and went in the water. They parachuted down into the water, and the Premier sport fishing boat rescued those two great pilots from the United States military. We love and respect those guys very, very much, the guys on the Premier and our military. Hey, have a great one. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon.